Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons Insurance, where you can sign up for the Shannons Club, and Penrite Oil, offering technical assistance 7 days a week.
Welcome back to part 2 of Americarna, the largest celebration of American-built vehicles outside of the United States. And it's a big thanks to Shannons Insurance and Penrite Oil. In fact, how good is Shannons Insurance? A company ran by enthusiasts just like us. What a recipe. If you add your house insurance to your current car or bike insurance, you'll receive a 10% multi-policy discount. Pick up the phone and give Shannons a call when you get a moment on 134646. They have just so much to offer. You can also find out more at shannons.com.au. When you get to their website, have a look around. It is quite extensive. And whilst you're there, you can also sign up and become a member of the Shannons Club, where you can interact with other enthusiasts, share stories and photos. It's a lot of fun. Check them out, shannons.com.au. And if you've got an engine, well, you need Penrite Oil. What an incredible company, what a fantastic product. They've been around since 1926. They're Australian-owned and they're a family-run business. Penrite Oil also offer you a tech line where you can ring up, speak to a tech about the particular oil for your type of engine. Visit Penrite Oil at penriteoil.com.au. Penrite, simply a better class of oil. Moving through Americarna for 2014. On last week's show, we interviewed promoter John Ray, drove through some incredible New Zealand countryside, then parked up in a regional town where the population was increased from 11 to 311 to interview some Americarna entrants. And now here are some more. Americarna 2014, we have Gary. How are you, Gary?
I'm very good, thank you, Fletch.
That's the way, mate. Very nice 1964 Impala. But before we start talking about the car, Gary, where are we off to today?
Today we go down to Waitara and then off to Inglewood later on this afternoon, about 3 o'clock, and home again about 8ish. Look out then.
That's the fantastic thing about Americarna. If you've just tuned in, here we are, New Zealand and Americarna. It's the event over 4 big days where there's a different cruise destination on each day. And instead of just parking up in a field and going home at the end of the day, I think that's the nice touch, because hundreds of people line the streets, they wave the American flag, the kids come out of schools. I mean, it's just awesome, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. Friday's a big cruise down to Hawera, and the whole road from New Plymouth to Hawera is just lined with kids and people waving, and it's just fantastic.
It's pretty hard to beat the New Zealand countryside. Now, this 64 Impala, Gary, what's the story there? How long have you had it?
Fletch, I've had it for 7 years now, and it came in as an unpainted shell pretty much. Motor was fine, mechanically wise. Give it a paint job, bit of upholstery, and this is it now, and it's never missed a beat.
These Chevs over the last 10 years have really grown on me. I mean, they're plain and simple in one respect, but they're fully loaded in other aspects.
Yeah. Depending on what you mean by fully loaded, mine's only a 6-cylinder, 3 on the tree manual.
And the lines and the stainless steel. I just love their squareness, you know. I mean, it goes against all principles of slipping through the air nicely, but they do.
And they float. When you're riding them, they float, and that's the beauty of them.
That's great, mate. Look, you're having a ball here. This is what it's all about. Americarna for 2014. Gary, thanks for being on today's show, mate.
Very good. Cheers, mate. Thanks, Fletch.
Moving through, we have Gillian now. How are you, Gillian?
I'm good, thank you, Fletch.
That's the way. What a sensational car this is. You'd have to be good. A 1955 Oldsmobile Holiday.
Yes, it's actually a super deluxe Holiday, which it's got all the luxuries. So it's got power windows, power steering, power brakes, a power seat, and it's also got an autotronic eye, which unfortunately doesn't work in New Zealand because it's on the left-hand side of the car.
Okay.
Yeah, so for people who don't know what an autotronic eye is, it automatically dips the lights.
Yes. It was a GM option with the Cadillacs and with the Buicks as well, that actually if you had your high beams on or high beams were coming towards you, the device would flash the lights to tell the other driver to dip their high beams, right?
Yes, yes.
So we're talking 1955. You heard the options that Gillian just went through. It's just amazing. Such an opulent car. I mean, it's still hard to believe what one of these must have looked like brand new.
Well, yes, I mean, it is a luxury model, and I think that really today cars haven't really come that far when you have all these these as standard options, you know.
We've come a long way in safety, but in terms of pizzazz and class, I mean, this is just a long gone era. It's never ever going to return.
No, it's never going to return, and I think it's wonderful that the likes of all of us here are actually taking these cars and restoring them or modifying them even, so that it's not lost.
Well, I mean, hundreds, thousands went to junkyards. They were written off in accidents. They rusted to pieces. There's a long list of the demise of a lot of these cars. And as you say, the ones that are here have been restored. They're preserved, whether they're original or customised, modified. At least they're here with us. And boy, this is what Americarna's all about.
That's exactly right, Fletch. It is. It's definitely what it's all about. And I think that all the car clubs and things over New Zealand are great, because it is encouraging people to keep these vehicles in pristine order like this.
Plus you look pretty cool driving around in this, wouldn't you?
Oh, yes. Yeah, you get a lot of looks. It's amazing how many people they just turn heads, as most of these vehicles here do.
Well, Gillian, I absolutely love it. I think it's gorgeous, and I'm sure people watching the show would agree with me. Thanks for being on today's show, and have a great cruise today.
I'm sure we will, Fletch. I'm sure they've got a great day in store for us. Thanks very much.
You're welcome. Americarna hosts such a cross-section of vehicles. 1929 Dodge. Welcome to the show, Gary.
Pleased to meet you, Fletch.
Mate, beautiful car. Tell us, when did it go on the road?
Yesterday.
There's nothing like running to the wire, is there?
No, not at all.
So you finished it last night, ready for today?
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, get the speedo working so I could read that instead of using the GPS on a navman, you know.
Gary, what a cool car. 1929 Dodge. Have a look at the lines of it. The interior, we'll talk about that in a sec. First of all, tell us about the body. What was it like when you got a hold of it?
It was as a hot rod, and I couldn't get a warrant for it, so I decided to scratch at it and strip it down, and it had probably a 44-gallon drum of bog on it. So now it's got nothing. It's just all back to bare metal and rebuilt from the ground up.
She's a file finish, mate.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely beautiful. The colour, don't say grey. What's the name of it?
Titanium metallic Mazda 6 colour.
That's too long. You should have just said grey. It pops in the sun. I mean, the metallic, it just looks so nice. This car has got so much curve and feature and class, down to a little embellishment that you've done in the side cowling there. What's going on there?
Oh, that was something that I've got an LS1 under, and I made up some rocker covers for the coils. Yep. And I thought they were going to hit the side, so I decided to put some cooling in it and extend it out so the rocker covers wouldn't hit in it.
Clever move, clever move. So LS1, good choice, nice and smooth, go well?
Yes, it does. 2002 LS1. It's got a lot of different pieces on it. I've just had it dyno tuned for getting it to run properly, and it's got 290 kilowatts out of standard motor and 624 meters of torque. So that's enough to move the 29 body along, isn't it? Now, talking about the grunt, it's all very well to have the performance up front. What have you done in the stopping department? It's got a Jag front end with the disc in it, Jag disc. It's got our XF Falcon disc on the back, and it's going through a Subaru master cylinder and a Justy booster.
Geez, Gary, I didn't mean to hurt you, mate, with that question. Geez, you put a lot of thought into that answer, too. What a transition with this vehicle. We've got a 1929 Dodge, Jag front end, trusty old XF Falcon in the rear. All comes together and turns up on the paddock like this. Absolutely beautiful, which now takes me to the interior. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, did you have it pictured in your mind before you started the project?
Yes, and then I let the young upholsterer to have his own way, use his ambition and his foresight to see what he could do after I told him what I wanted.
Never let an upholsterer have his way.
Oh, you have a look at this and I think you will.
I think that's the secret with a restoration, you know. You have to picture the finished product in your mind as you're going. I don't think you can undertake a resto and just see where it goes. I really believe you've got to have a finished picture.
Yeah. Well, I was told by one person that helped me with it, with the water jetting. He said it's not a supermarket hot rod. It's a lot of thought's gone into the detail of it. So, and that's what's happened.
Gary, love the car, love the dashboard, the cluster, the chrome work, the bright work, the leather interior. Got the little the Dodge Ram insignia there in the top of the seats. It's class all the way. Good on you, buddy. Well done.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks for that, Fletch.
No worries.
Yeah.
And just when you thought it was over, no, things get better and better. Look in the interior up on the roof. Dodge Ram insignia acting as a chandelier. What next? I hope you're really enjoying this week's episode of Classic Restos, representing the 2014 Americarna in New Zealand. Of course, it's not possible without the continued support of Shannons Insurance and Penrite Oil. Back with more after this. This is Waitra, a small town that's meant for Americarna. Thousands of people line the streets, making a virtual public holiday out of the occasion. The power of an event such as Americarna depicts the closure of the main street, where all entrants and locals can meet and greet. When it comes to vehicles, you'll see some of Detroit's finest. If it's made by Uncle Sam, it's welcome as a part of the Americarna clan. Parked up at Waitra. How are you, Donald?
Yeah, good, thanks, Fletch.
So, mate, beautiful 1960 Impala.
Yes, yep. Yeah, we got it last year from America. We bought it in and we had it fully restored in Hamilton at Jonesy's Garage.
How do you feel now driving around in this?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely terrific, thanks, Fletch. Yeah, no, it's a nice car to drive. The restoration job was done really well.
Yep.
And it's really nice to come down here. It's the first time we've been to Americarna.
Yep.
And the people have been fantastic. The organisation's terrific, you know. Everybody's been very welcoming.
They do a fantastic job, John Ray and the Americarna team. There is no doubt about it. As I alluded to earlier too, the power of an event to block off a main street and have hundreds of American cars turning up, it's very awesome. It's also excellent for the economy as well. All the businesses here in the main street, it's just so good in such a small town.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and we've all enjoyed all the hospitality they've put on. You did right, all the roads have been blocked off and everybody's been waving out. The school children have all been coming out.
Yes,
it's been fantastic, you know.
I know, the first Americarna blew me away, and Donald, hopefully it's going to be the start for many more for yourself. Yeah. But I've got a comment about the Impala here. 1960, the red, the houndstooth interior. Beautiful car.
Yeah, look, it's done, we've restored it to basically this factory original look, except we've had it lowered and we put different wheels on it and different brakes on it. It's got a 327 engine, 2-speed power glide, and now everything's faultless on the car.
Chev is such a good product. I mean, they've never built a bad V8 from the introduction in 1955 all the way through. Doesn't matter what Chev V8 you've got. They never did a bad one.
No, they didn't, did they? You know, they sort of changed their style as the years went by.
Yep.
All similar brands at 60s sort of look a little bit similar, don't they?
Yep.
But no, we've been very pleased with this one.
Good on you, Donald. Stay cool driving this. I know you will.
Yeah, Fletch, we watch your TV show all the time. Hope we look forward to see the report on this event.
Good on you, mate. Thank you very much, Donald.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, mate. Through a fantastic Americarna event. Time for a Mopar. How are you, Ray?
I am good, Fletch, thank you.
That's the way, mate. Before we go any further, beautiful 1969 car here, the Charger. What an awesome shape. But, mate, what's the go with the Chevy badge on your shirt?
I'm always a cross-dresser.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I get a lot of comments. Yeah. And on a day that I wear a Mopar shirt, like a true traditionalist, I wear a Chevy hat, just to confuse people and make them talk. Why are you doing this?
Isn't it nice that we just have a general respect right across the big three? Got to pick on you, though. The blue is outstanding. It's a great-looking car. It must feel pretty proud to have a car like this. I mean, you know, guys that got onto these cars many years ago were definitely the winners.
Yes, they were. They were, and it's getting harder and harder now to get a good car. Let's say I was very, very lucky. Santa brought this one for me. And, you know, as a loyal follower of Santa, you people that have given up on Santa, you're wasting your time, mate.
I always thought he might have had a big sleigh. We have a look at this shape Dodge here. Obviously, same model used in the Dukes of Hazzard. Such a big car, big hip line, beautiful interior, very stylish two-door car.
Yep, yeah, it's probably for New Zealand conditions a little bit big, but and a Challenger is probably more suited to New Zealand conditions. But however, beggars can't be choosers. That's what Santa gave me, and I'm a grateful recipient.
He's certainly hooked on Santa. Ray, tell me, in the time that you've had the car, have you had to do much to it?
No, I've had to manage to train the wife to wash it and polish it, and other than that, no, it's just sort of general tidy little things and whatnot, so I've been lucky.
Up under the hood, what's lurking there?
It's a 440, just a 4-barrel carburetor.
That's all you need too.
Yep, that's enough for my budget. That's enough for my budget.
Ray, 1969 car, original interior as well. Love the trim.
Yes, it's genuine leather, and that's what the car was built with. And so everything in the car is original except for the wheels. And so that's sort of how I like it.
Do you know the history of the car? Like what part of the United States it once lived?
Yes, it come from California, Bermuda Dunes, which is part of the Californian state, getting closer to Arizona.
Ray, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure catching up with you. 4 lanes here through Waitara. What a sensational sight. Over 600 cars. Don't go anywhere because after the break, we're back as we wind our way through some more sensational New Zealand countryside as we make our way through to Inglewood. I hope you're enjoying Americarna. So timely to remind you of a Fletch tour in 2014 or 2015. GM, Ford and Chrysler, 3 of the biggest car events you could possibly see on the planet at Carlisle in Pennsylvania. Returning in August to Detroit to experience the Woodward Dream Cruise. There's nothing like the Motown City of Detroit. Find out more information about how you can experience a Fletch tour when you go to classicrestos.com.au and follow the Fletch Tours link. Back with more after this. The Americarna event just keeps getting better and better. Around a 40-minute drive from Waitara is Inglewood, another gorgeous regional New Zealand town, and no stranger to Americarna diehards. Again, the entire main street is blocked off for Americarna entrance. It's fantastic for local business and great entertainment for the residents. Americarna continues to bring great things to these various regions. And there's never a shortage of classic car owners to have on the show. Parked up here at Inglewood, we have John. How are you, John?
Good, Fletch. Very good.
That's the way, mate. You've got a 56 here. I like a 56 because it's not a 55, it's not a 57, almost like the forgotten model, isn't it?
It is a little bit, yeah. It's not the tough 55 model, and it's not the dressed up 57, you know. Yeah. It's in between model.
Having said that, though, I still have a lot of admiration for the 56. It's a beautiful car. The flip front, now quite unique because the rest of the car's fairly standard, but a big modification up front.
It is, yeah. Guys did it before I got it, but Anne and I, my wife and I, are really enjoying driving the car. We have a lot of people look at it because of the flip front. It's just a bit of novelty, and it works well.
Easier to work on in the engine side?
Very easy. You put it up on blocks and the front flips right over, and you can really get in there.
You just don't want it flipping up while you're driving it.
No, you don't.
Not that it would. The whole car's great. I mean, the interior's nice, the black and white. I like the way that the dashboard's left original. They're class. They're very classy, these Chevs.
Yep, it's a classy vehicle. Yeah, it's a joy to drive. Yeah. It's got a 355 in it, automatic. You just put it in gear and head out. Away you go.
Isn't it good when you've got a car that you can just turnkey go for a cruise? You're not worrying about hoses letting you down or radiators or a transmission or whatever the case may be. When you just get them right and set up correctly, they're just great, aren't they?
Yeah, you do have your issues. I had to put a manifold back on when I got down here. It dropped a couple of bolts, so got some good mates down here which helped me out.
Yeah, what's a couple of manifold bolts, you know? That's pretty minor in the big scheme of things. John, thanks for being on the show, mate.
No worries, yeah.
And thanks for coming here to Inglewood. And keep up the preservation of this Chevy, mate.
I certainly will do that. Cheers.
Time for a pony car on Classic Restos. The Americana edition for 2014. How are you, Graham?
Good, thanks, Fletch.
That's the way. This you haven't had a Mustang before. This is your first American car, right?
It's my first American car, yes.
And how long have you had it?
2 years in May.
How do you feel at being your stage of life and driving a Mustang?
Really good, really good. It's something that we've wanted. We got an English car. We had to have an American car, so we've now got one of each. Yeah. But we used the Mustang for our second car. Yeah. Yeah. No, it took a bit of use to getting to the left-hand drive, but.
Yeah. Does it mean a lot to you to be able to say, hey, I've got a 1966 Mustang?
It does. A 66 Mustang was the one I wanted. I got a 66 AMG, and 66 Mustang seems to be the year. Yep. So it's just a matching pair in my garage.
I shouldn't ask you this, but what car do you prefer, the Mustang or the AMG? I know they're two entirely different cars.
For this sort of thing or long trips, I enjoy the Mustang every time. Yeah. We started to use that far more. We do a lot of vintage car runs and Americana, beach hop. Yep. All that sort of thing. So.
Graham, I admire how the condition of this car. I mean, original 289, it's the original colour, original interior. It's as straight as a die, this car. When you get up close and have a look at it, you've done very well acquiring it.
Yes, Fletch. It's it was owned by one family in America for 39 years. It was handed down to the son and the granddaughter to go backwards and forwards to university. Yep. It came to New Zealand in 2005. And we bought it in 2012 and it had done just over 2,000 miles.
They sold over 1 million of these back in the early stages. I mean, they really put Ford on the map, the Mustang. Around $3,000 brand new back in 1966, which was a considerable amount of money. Here we are in 2014 and you got one of the genuine articles, eh?
Yep, no, I'm very pleased with it.
Good on you. Thanks, Graham. It's a real pleasure catching up with you, mate.
Thank you very much, Fletch.
And I hope you keep on enjoying this beautiful car.
We will. We get a lot of enjoyment out of it, both Thelma and I.
Good on you. Good on you, buddy.
Thanks very much.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed just a taste of Americana for 2014 on the last 2 weeks' episodes of Classic Restos. And I'm sure you'll agree that John Ray and the Americana team do an absolutely amazing job of pulling this event together. Now, classicrestos.com.au is the website that you need for the DVD boxed sets of the show, Classic Restos merchandise, Fletch Tours, and how my major sponsors can help you as well. As I say at the end of every week's episode of Classic Restos, until next week, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch, signing off from New Zealand, and I thank you very much for watching.
You can like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Classic Restos TV and watch catch-up episodes at shannons.com.au. Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons Insurance, where you can sign up for the Shannons Club, and Penrite Oil, offering technical assistance 7 days a week.